Hey guys, welcome back to Haunted Cerebral Astrology. I'm David. I'm going to do something a bit different today with the videos. I really wanted to start doing some electional astrology videos. Electional astrology is a branch of astrology. If you don't know what electional astrology is, it's a branch of astrology where you choose timings to do endeavors of different kinds. So you choose like kind of like lucky times and lucky dates, or what they say, auspicious timing. So I've wanted to do this for a while because electional astrology is actually the branch of astrology that really got me into ancient Hellenistic astrology as well as traditional astrology. Because I don't know, I just find it really interesting. I like to use it to set deadlines for myself and to choose and to make decisions and to have a bit more fun with it. I find it one of the more fun branches of astrology. Anyway, I don't want to get this is going to be the first one. I'm a little bit off the cuff and I'm trying to do a million things at the same time right now. So I think in the later videos, I'll try and refine it a bit. But for this first one, I'm just looking at a few elections that I was looking at this week. Most of them use the Venus-Mars conjunction that's happening this week. So let's take a look at them. And I'll kind of like talk about why I choose them and we can figure them out together. Also, if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, just feel free to leave comments down below. And if you want to see anything else, let me know. Also, please like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff goes a really long way. And if you want to book a consultation with me, either to do a natal chart reading or an electional forecasting, or to choose a timing for something like starting a business or a wedding or going on a trip or any of the house matters. So something to do with health, something to do with work, something to do with home, things like that. And you can use electional astrology to do any of those things. Okay, so I'm going to look at a few different charts this week. The first one is pretty soon. So also, by the way, my timing is from Berlin, Germany. So I think in the later videos, I'm going to try and do maybe one that's also on the west coast of the States, or one that's east coast of North America and then west coast of North America and then Central Europe. I don't know if I have any audience in Australia, but if I do, let me know and I can maybe do one also for there too. But this week, we're going a bit off the cuff. So I'm just going to do 3 here from Germany. So Central Europe. So wherever you are, you can adjust the times. But the main point is for this first chart is that so normally they say that like having Scorpio on the ascendant is not a good thing. And the main thing I really wanted to point out is that we have the midheaven coming into a conjunction with the Venus Mars conjunction in Leo, and it's in the 10th house, so it's very strong there, and it's going to be very loud. Is really good for doing something performative, for doing something individual, for doing something very authentic and action based in the world on some level. So something that you want to perform and to show people what you really have. And with that Venus Mars conjunction, it could be something about a fresh start with creativity, or a new health regimen, or in a relationship of some kind. It could just be something very aesthetic, like for instance, if you're an artist like I am, you can be releasing new work or something like that. And so I just thought it was like an interesting election for that. Also, the ascendant is closely conjunct the lot of fortune, which is in the first house. That's also really good. And the ascendant is in a, oh man, the annotations are always moving around. The ascendant is like in an applying trine to Jupiter, which is in the 5th house, which is quite a lucky house, and also the joy of Venus. So, and it's also in Venus's exaltation. So I'm also trying to get, you'll notice that some of the first elections here I'm trying to make use of all the domicile energy. So we have Jupiter, Mercury, and Moon all in domicile. So I thought that was good. Another little trick I know is like if you're working with Mars on any level, you want to put in the ascendant one of the Mars ruled signs, so Scorpio or Mars, Scorpio or Aries, and that will mitigate some of the Martian qualities to whatever election you're doing. So it may reduce the amount of hostility, conflict, accidents, problems that come up that may be due to instabilities or interruptions or any kinds of hostilities of any kind, or what's the word, like impulsiveness, right? So you want to put a Mars ruled sign in the ascendant if you're working with Mars on any level to mitigate some of those factors. So I thought this was a good chart for, yeah, something career based, something also aesthetically based, something relationship based, something where you're making a big, bold statement, maybe in a relationship of some kind. And then also I thought what was really cool is that the sun, we just had that new moon. So the moon is in what's considered bonding, which is not technically good for the moon, but the moon's in its domicile. So I thought that mitigated things. And then the sun is in its joy in the 9th house. So it could also be good for something that has to do with travel or foreign things, something to do with dreams or achieving your dreams, and maybe even with the conjunction in the 10th, it's like turning your dreams into something. And the moon has moved out of the balsamic phase; it's moved past the new moon, so it's starting to rise. It's starting to gain some light on some level again. So there's more activity. It's more of a good time to initiate something. And so, yeah, I thought that was a good one. Okay, so the next chart I'm going to look at is the next day. It's in the evening. Again, I'm trying to make use of all those domicile energies. This time I'm going to use a Capricorn ascendant. So this time to kind of mitigate some of the qualities of Saturn, because Saturn and Moon are moving into that opposition. And I wanted to make use of actually this little stellium in Leo as well. It's in the 8th house, so it could be something to do with finances or dealing with any kinds of taxes or dealing with any kind of interrelated financial issues, fear, stresses, psychological things. So it could be a good time to work with some of that energy to kind of channel in on some of the more internal things that have to do with other people too, and how you deal with interpersonal connections and entanglements with others. So it could be like a fresh start in how you get through that and how you can disseminate and discriminate between what is your problem, what's other people's problems as well, and to have a fresh start with that, using again that Venus Mars conjunction. What else did I like about this chart? Oh yeah, the midheaven is in a square to the moon as well. So I thought that makes it really active. Maybe it makes it a bit more vulnerable and sensitive and makes it a bit more intense, but it could be a good, like I said, it could be a good time to hash out things that normally you're a bit afraid of. That's why it's like good time maybe to deal with taxes and money, bureaucratic stuff. Things where you're dealing with authority too, since the sun rules over Leo, and Leo has to do with authority. Sun has to do with authority as well. Sun is also in Cancer, so there is some emotional openness to it, and willing to also willing to see the other side of the coin on some things. Now, the ascendant ruler and the sun are not in any kind of aspect with one another, but the moon, which is the ruler of what the sun sign is in this opposition. So there could be this tension between like money issues or resources you have and resources others have, but you'll have like a fresh start with that, and there'll be like a lot of action and activity to deal with those things. Also, the ascendant is in a nice sextile to Jupiter, which is still in domicile. So again, I wanted to make use of the domicile energy with Jupiter still in there. So that's it for the second chart. And then the third chart is later. It's kind of a weird one. This might actually make more sense for people on the other side of the world. This one was kind of one I was being a bit more creative with. So Taurus in the ascendant, it's quite early in the morning here. The midheaven's in the 9th house. So if you are, it could be a good one for dreaming and stuff like that, because then the Saturn is in the 10th as well. So it could be a good time for your dreams or your mind, or to do something late at night to work out things in the subconscious on some level, to work out fears. Saturn rules fears as well, and what we're afraid of, the anxieties of the future and things like that, and where we are. But Jupiter is in domicile and also in its joy. So it could also be a good time to, to exchange things and deal with things on the other side of the world. Like, let's say you're in conferences with other people on the other side of the world, lots of different time zones. It could be a good time to take responsibility for those things and to get good benefactions from that with that Jupiter domicile in the 11th. Also, we got the lot of fortune is in a separating sextile from Jupiter as well. That's good. And the ascendant is in the moon's exaltation. Moon is still in domicile at this time. So actually this was before, I should have probably put this one before the other one. So this takes place before the second chart. But again, yeah. And then also using that conjunction of Venus, Mars in the 4th house. So yeah, it could be something good for a fresh start with family, fresh start with home, fresh start with new relationships and the actions you guys want to take and the missions you're on together in the family or in the home, or trying to sort out things that have to do with the property or investments and assets of the family, or the legacies of things. So that could be like an interesting way to use that energy, as well as to sort out some more kind of worldly matters that need more help and just aiding from that Jupiter in the 11th there. And I think what else I liked about that, oh yeah, and then also the midheaven is in an opposition to this separating new moon, and the moon is in its domicile as well as in its joy. So it could be really good for lunar things. It could be like, it's like, I find this is an interesting chart because it's good for both things at the home and things in the career, especially for those who may not be, who have to work really late that night. It could be a good night to do a lot of work at night that has to do with like things on the other side of the world, or like people in different foreign places, not from you. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the other side of the world, but just people who are not maybe in the same country as you. Some people are just far away from where you are, and you're trying to like work on things together, and you had to stay up late that night. So it could be a good time to like release whatever memo or portfolio you wanted to release on some level. And then with Mercury and its domicile in the 2nd, means it could probably be good for money too. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the charts I wanted to look at this week. I hope that was interesting for you guys. Make use of them as you will. I'm going to try and keep this thing going. Hopefully I can do this once a week, no guarantees, but I thought this was a good little experiment to have fun with. So hope that was helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe. All of it goes a really long way. And if you want to book a consultation with me, hit me up. Information's down below. Okay, bye for now. Keep coming back. Take care. See you at the next forecast.